Today I thought we'd check out a small town that's familiar to most of us. And even though only about 5,000 people live in Fountain Hill, probably 80% of the people now living and residing in Bethlehem can say honestly that they were born in Fountain Hill. And thanks to a strange placement of boundary lines, you're forgiven if you somehow don't know the difference between South Bethlehem and Fountain Hill. You know, Fountain Hill became a borough officially in 1893. But around the start of the 20th century, say around 1915 to 1920, there was a major push in Bethlehem to unite all of the local boroughs into a united city, the city of Bethlehem. For the most part, that happened in 1917. But the borough of Fountain Hill resisted, and to this day, it remains a separate borough. And you know something, I have a feeling that even if, in the future, it becomes part of the city of Bethlehem, it'll be another long period of time before most of the people in this tiny borough admit to being anything but what they consider themselves to be: Hillers.
The beginnings of Fountain Hill are tied to the history of Bethlehem. It was the Moravians who divided the land on the south side of the Lehigh River as large farms. This rural character remained until the 1840s. Due to severe financial problems following the Panic of 1837, the Moravian Church decided to sell off its property. Dr. Francis Henry Oppelt, a homeopathic doctor, in 1846 opened a water cure hospital at a spring located where St. Luke's Hospital is today. Fountain Hill was part of the homeland of the Lenape Indians, who were still occupying it when William Penn came into possession of it in 1681. The land of Fountain Hill was then acquired from Penn or his three sons by settlers. Title to the land passed through several hands before most of it was purchased by the Moravians of Bethlehem over a 32-year period, starting in 1743. By 1775, the Moravians owned all but 40 acres of the land of Fountain Hill. The 40 acres were part of a 156-acre tract purchased from the sons of William Penn and settled by Nicholas Dahl in 1739, the earliest settlement of Fountain Hill. For about 100 years, the land purchased by the Moravians was used for farming by them or their tenants. The 147-acre farm was known as the Hoffert Farm, so named because John Hoffert and later his son, Samuel, were the last tenants to work the farm before the Moravians sold it. The farmhouse on the farm was built by Cornelius Weygand in 1755. It is the oldest standing house in Fountain Hill. Another arrival in the 1850s was Augustus Fiat, a French-born music dealer from Philadelphia. He built a large home he called Fontainebleau, after the French town where he spent some of his childhood years. It was the center of a 146-acre estate. Fiat considered the property first as a summer residence. He later made it into his full-time residence. Fontainebleau soon received a wide reputation due to its many gardens and trees. After Fiat's death in 1866, it was sold to developer Tinsley Jeter, the man who gave Fountain Hill its name, probably derived from Fiat's estate. The home became Bishopthorpe Manor, a school for girls, which it still was in 1931. As heavy industry came into South Bethlehem, first the Lehigh Zinc Company, followed by the Lehigh Valley Railroad and Bethlehem Iron Company, later Bethlehem Steel Corporation, many businessmen were attracted to the area. Perhaps the best known was Robert Sayre, the man who ran the Lehigh Valley Railroad for Asa Packer. Sayre's home, built in 1856 on Wyandotte Street, the first modern dwelling on any portion of what was afterwards called Fountain Hill.
So you might ask, in a little town like Fountain Hill, do there happen to be any historic structures that we need to know about? Well, there probably aren't too many. One particular structure that always catches my eye is this enormous mill complex behind me. Yeah, there really is something to say about communities that maintain the look and the feel 100 years after they were founded. It's usually true with most of the smaller towns around Bethlehem and in the Lehigh Valley. And one such town is Fountain Hill.